Hello and welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Amy the Medium, and today we're going to talk about the difference between tarot readers and psychic readers. So there is actually a difference between tarot readers and psychic readers who use tarot cards as a tool. There is an overlap as well, and some of that just has to do with education, and some of it just has to do with that person's preference. So let me start with tarot readers. Most people who call themselves tarot readers are people who have studied the tarot deeply. They understand the meaning of the cards. They have looked at the artwork and they've looked at the symbolism, and they interpret every card fairly literally when they do a reading. So tarot readers may lay out a spread of cards, and what they do is they go off their knowledge of the meaning of the cards as well as how they're laid out in relation to each other to build a story, to build a narrative that in the end should be relevant to you, your life, the reason that you've come for the reading. I would say someone who calls themselves a tarot reader is more focused on the cards than they are focused on you. Now, that said, that doesn't mean they aren't tapping into something greater, that they're not tapping into your energy or a psychic ability. They may just not be acknowledging it, because realistically, the spirit world, all of our helpers who put us in situations, who say, hey, you know what, she's going for a reading today with this tarot reader, this is our chance to get a message through. They may use that tarot reader and those cards to get the message through, even if that tarot reader doesn't know what's happening, even if all they're doing is reading the cards themselves. So it is still very effective. Now, that said, psychic readers who use tarot cards as a tool primarily are connecting with you, connecting with your energy, and they are reading you and the situation in your life in that moment that needs to be addressed. They use the cards to help them focus or to help them receive inspiration of, what they're seeing, tying back to what they're feeling about what's going on in your life. It's no different than, say, if they had like a worry stone, it's something to just kind of focus your attention. If they're staring off into space, it focuses their attention. The cards can do the same thing, just helps you to focus your attention while you're receiving information. So if you're thinking of getting a reading, do you go to a psychic or do you go to a tarot reader? Really, the choice is up to you. There is, if you look at like a little Venn diagram of it, there is an overlap. Some tarot readers are also psychics and some psychics are also tarot readers. So if you really want the sweet spot, I'd say where the two collide is fantastic, but it's really up to you and up to what types of information you're looking for and how personalized you want that reading to be. Some tarot readers, like I mentioned, will go off of just the meanings of their cards. They may not even ask you a question or care what's going on in your life, whereas a psychic reader is going to be very focused about what's going on in your life, and maybe the cards will give a little bit of extra detail here and there, but they're not telling the narrative. You and your energy are telling the narrative. So there really are two ways about it. And if you have any doubt or any questions, please reach out to whoever that reader is that you're considering and just ask them, hey, you call yourself a tarot reader, or hey, I see you do tarot readings, but then you also do psychic readings. What's the difference? You're a tarot reader. Does that mean that you connect with me psychically as well, or do you just read the cards? Hey, you're a psychic reader. Do you use any tools? Do you use cards or oracle decks or crystals? Hey, I see that you do psychic readings with tarot cards. How much of that is you reading the deck versus reading me? Just ask the questions. And hopefully I've given you enough examples here that you've got the questions now to ask. It's very important that you feel comfortable with the reader that you're going to, and that you're comfortable with the reading that you are receiving, and that you are receiving what you expected. So I hope that's been helpful to understand the difference between a psychic reader and a tarot reader. And I hope that this information will help you in the future when you're considering a reading on your own. That's this week's Tarot Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week.